I genuinely think the PR team for enemies to lovers is working overtime. I read this book recently. It was not a book, it was a fanfic, I know. And then slowly
like diamonds, shining bright they gleam, a lovely lady, you're my every dream.
we're gonna be ranking book tropes. I have a list, actually. I wrote it down. We're gonna be ranking based on how it makes me feel, how it would work in real life, how it's written versus how it should be written. To me, of course. All of this is relative to what I think. And we're just gonna go through the list. Firstly, we have the love triangle. I know. Most people are like, oh, this sucks, I hate it. But I think that it can actually really work only if it's written to actually be a triangle and not like a dot with two lines pointing towards it. If it's a triangle, everyone loves each other. Then it's a triangle, not like bing bing. Also, the way it tends to be written is like the blandest female character is loved by two male characters, and the main lead, the person who's gonna end up with her, is also kind of bland. And the second dude, the one who's not gonna end up with her, tends to be literally the best person on the planet. Also, I feel like maybe I really don't like it because it has this feeling of like the nice guys never get it. Like, the nice guys never get what they want. So for me, honestly, in real life, in the way that it's written, it sucks to be in a love triangle because, like, somebody's gonna have to get hurt. So in real life, I would say no. How does it make me feel? I don't like how it makes me feel because I feel like a lot of dumb decisions are made. And so I'm like, no. How is it written? It's written as not a triangle, but like a dot with two lines. And I don't like how it's written. Versus how it should be written is an actual triangle. It's not the worst thing, but it's not the best thing, so I'm just gonna give it a 3. Like, it's in the middle. Second on our list is actually enemies to lovers. Now listen, I genuinely think the PR team for enemies to lovers is working overtime. People love enemies, and that's not, okay, I like enemies to lovers quite a bit. I feel like if it's written right, but like, it's not written right very often. Often, it's like miscommunication to lovers. It's like, oh, I thought you didn't like me, so I didn't like you. And so we just moved around each other as though we didn't like each other. But it's not enemies, though. I feel like enemies only really works, okay, I'm kidding, if you live in a world where you can have an enemy. Like, maybe like 500 years, these two tribes have never seen eye to eye, and you're a fighter in this tribe, and you're a fighter in this tribe, and then you guys have to be forced proximity, hey! Like, stuff like that, or it's like a different species, humans with a different species, and you guys, when I say species, I mean like aliens, like like other, because I know there are furries lurking in the back. That's the only way it makes sense to me, because who has an enemy? An enemy? Do you know what an enemy is? The worst thing that's happening in your life right now is calculus. You don't have an enemy. Oh, I read a book that was like, she was a witch, he's a vampire. A Discovery of Witches. Read A Discovery. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Like, that's how to do enemies to lovers. Like, you know, like, I don't trust you because you're a vampire. I don't trust you because you're a witch. But we have to like work together. Speaking of working together, I was gonna say, like, in our everyday life, like, the only way it would make sense for the average human being, for me at least, maybe it's because I'm still in uni, but it would be like academic rivals to lovers. It's so good. I am so sorry. Like, I'm just a young girl. I feel like what really doesn't sell enemies to lovers good is because they start off with like a lot of banter, a lot of like poking fun. Do you know what an enemy is? Like, do you know what an enemy is? I'm not saying they have to like kill each other, like want to like poison each other, which wouldn't be bad actually if you make or, but like, you have to actually really not want to be around this person. Even if in your mind you're kind of like, something is pulling me to this person, at the same time, because you know that you're enemies, there has to still be that fight. Strangers to lovers, like, if you're a stranger, it's fine, but that's not your enemy. It's just a stranger, like, I don't know you. Or like, bad first impression to lovers. Bad first impression is not an enemy. It's just a bad first impression. In real life, the reason why it's not number 1 for me is because I'm also ranking in real life. It can never work. If someone in my life got to the point of being my enemy, we're never becoming lovers. We can become friends over time. Which also then means we can become lovers, I guess. But like, listen to me. I don't even want to be in the same continent with you. How it's written versus how it should be written, like, I feel like it's written wrong a lot of the time. And it makes sense because we don't really have enemies. So people don't really know how to like balance, like, this is an enemy, but not a bad person. You know, in a way where it's like, I don't like you, but you're not a bad person. So they end up just making it like miscommunication, where it's like, oh, I thought you didn't like me, or I thought you did, I thought, as opposed to what they are. Like, people just have a hard time doing that. And how does it make me feel? Well, since you asked, if written right, it can eat so hard. And because of that, I'm gonna give it a 2. Not a 1, because I can't do it in real life. And next on our list is miscommunication. Anyone who likes miscommunication, I think you should check yourself into like a mental hospital. It's dumb.
They're always ugly. They're always either ugly or fat or losers.
They've had a lot of time to figure each other out and blah, blah, blah. And they're finally together. And typically how these books go is when like it's build up to be together, once they get together, where the end of the book is versus where they're getting together, in between, there's going to be like some form of conflict. And people, like a lot of authors often use miscommunication. It's done in the dumbest way. It would be something like, so we spoke about our feelings and we confessed how we feel to one another. And then like the following morning, I wake up and then you're not there. It means that like everything you said yesterday was a lie and you don't love me and what? So miscommunication is going to go on a 4 for me because in real life, it sucks. How it makes me feel sucks. And I know you're probably thinking, can it be written right? But it can be written right. And I'll explain that later. There's a trope I have here that I'm going to give where miscommunication actually works. Most times, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Especially if it's used as a major plot point. I feel like that's where it's really frustrating. Like if it's a major plot point, it's frustrating because if you guys have one conversation, all this will be cleared up. So we're going to spend the next 4 to 5 chapters hashing out something that could have been squeezed into one paragraph. So I'm gonna say it's a 4 out of the 5 because it's not the worst thing on earth, but it's definitely like below minimum, like it's below neutral. It's not neutral, but it's not the worst thing. Next we have questionable age gap. This is the worst. I genuinely think that there are a number of things that really play into why it's so bad. It's always like a 18 to 20-year-old girl. 18 to 22 is even old. Her brain is developing and his brain is probably like getting on the deteriorating side of things. And through the course of the book, you're going to see that she's young. You're going to see that her brain is still trying to develop. So it really makes the romance uncomfortable, especially because it's like, it's written in a way that sounds very, I'm young and I know not the ways of the world. And he's like, you're so young. Like, this is wrong. But you're so hot. What? Get out of my face. Get out of my face right now. It's yuck. It's yuck. It feels yuck. It also plays into like the erotic scenes, if there are any in these sort of books. The power play also, I'm like, this makes me uncomfortable. Like, it feels like you have a target audience and it's not me. So it's like a 5. In real life, it's very uncomfortable. I have read one book where I didn't like hate it. It was like a big age gap that like today would make me like look twice, but back then was actually a good deal. She was early 20s, like just turned 20, and he was just about to turn 30. Now that is quite a gap, but again, Regency. So if he's below 60, it's a good deal. But there was one book, I can never forget this. There was one book that I read that was like, I think she was like 21 or 21, I'm not sure. She was making like, I don't know, but she made a statement that was like, imagine we met like 4 years or 5 years ago or something like, something weird. Okay, and hey, I don't know if you're good at math, but 5 years ago, if you're 21 now, I don't think that's very legal. He's like, what? And then she's like, oh no, I know you would have never. Like, I know you would never. But like, imagine. Imagine what right now, Missy? Like, imagine what? What are we imagining? I'm uncomfortable. It's giving like, what's that thing? Like fetish content on the internet? Where it's like, there's someone you're making this for. I know what you are. How it's written is it's very uncomfortably written. How it should be written, it shouldn't even be written. So that's lowest on the list for me. Next on our list, hear me out. Okay, hear me out. I need you to promise me you're gonna hear me out. I need you to promise me you're gonna hear me out. Friends to lover. Oh, Oh, I feel like it really gets bad rep. The PR team on enemies to lovers we need some of them on the friends to lovers. And I feel like what really messes it up is the authors. No offense to my lovely writers. You really did me a solid. A lot of the time people don't know how to do friends to lovers because like they have to start off as real true friends and then slowly I feel like I like it a lot because it makes the most sense in real life. Because realistically, you should be like friendly. You don't have to be best friends. Oh my goodness. I'm not really a fan of like strangers to lovers because there's supposed to be a friendship there. The reason why I feel like authors don't get it right, they don't really know how to do a slow burn. Enemies to lovers and friends to lovers really needs the slow burn. Like really needs the slow burn. With a friend, like you don't want to mess up the dynamic, blah, blah, blah. A lot of authors make it like a flirty type of friendship when you're having like banter. They're like flirting. I'm like, no, but you can't, it's chapter 1. You're actually pretty funny, or you're actually kind of cute. That's not what a friend would say to you. Like a friend, that's not what they would say. You're pretty cute. Obviously, every friendship is different, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like a lot of the time when these books are written, it's like not written in a way where it's believable. And I just feel like if it's written right, listen to me. I know a lot of people say I'm crazy. I feel like the reason why a lot of people prefer enemies to lovers is because you guys don't know how to communicate. For a bunch of people who hate miscommunication, why do they need to hate each other? I know what you are. I read this book recently. It was not a book, it was a fanfic, I know. They were friends when they were kids. One of them left the country and then came back. And they like slowly rebuilt their friendship, but they kind of had crushes on each other. At this point, they're like almost 30, both of them. I'm like, this is so cute. Oh, but they were friends, like genuine friends. No one is gonna throw away 10-year friendship for a maybe you like me. You know what I mean? Like there's gonna be a lot more hesitating, a lot more. Also, I was gonna mention earlier with the miscommunication, in friends to lovers, I feel like that's where there can be miscommunication, but not in the sense of like, oh, you hate me because we're best friends. You know how I communicate. You know I don't hate you. But miscommunication in the sense of like just before they both realize their feelings, there could be a moment where it's like, am I reading into that? Am I reading into that? Curious, like, is that me? Is that you? That sort of thing. Same thing with like enemies to lovers, because in the point where they're becoming lovers, it could be like, did I read that wrong? Was that me? You know, I feel like miscommunication can work in these sort of situations. That because once you've gotten to the point of being lovers, especially if you were friends beforehand, miscommunication frustrates the hell out of me because this has been your friend for 5 years. Now they're your lover. You've been lovers for a couple months. What do you mean you don't know how they communicate? Like, what do you mean? Are you a shit friend? Is that what this is? Like, there's certain things that you wouldn't second guess if you've been my friend for like a while. I hate everyone but you. I don't like those. I actually really don't like those. Like, everyone, I hate everyone, or everyone, like, no one should talk to me. I'm mean to everyone but you. For me, I'm just like, that shows more about your character. Like, you're only nice to me because you like me. So the day you stop liking me, not even just because, oh, that could be me one day, but it's just like, no, you suck. The people who really love that trope of like, I'm mean to everyone except you, I think not only do you need therapy, but you need help, I think. In real life, it sucks. In books, it can be romanticized because there's a way you can write it where people forget that that's what you're doing. I think it's also going to be on the 3 with the love triangle. Like, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. I think that's all. I think these are my tropes. If you guys read the Friends to Lovers I read, the thing is, I can't give recommendations for fanfics because I think that's like, you know how the eyes are the window to the person's soul? Yeah, eyes and fanfics are like pretty close, I'd say, and I don't think I want that on the internet, okay? But I can recommend books and some mangas as well, actually. Well, only a couple. I don't know how many I can give to the people. Is that weird? I mean, that's a little personal, like, stop. Pretty, like, you're in my business. You're in my business. Let me know what you think the tropes, like, and don't say enemies, like, I don't want everyone to be like, enemies lovers, enemies, like, it's a good trope, but I feel like, think about it. This is the eye look. So, be honest, tell me what you think, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.